Mero, what's happening? Welcome to the inaugural episode of I Was Minding My Business podcast. I'm not sure if this is going to be a lengthy one or not, but I am your host, Romero, Goodwin. The structure of the conversation will be free-flowing, just sharing my opinions and my thoughts, many of which will not be socially acceptable or politically correct. However, I am not doing so for shock value. This is how I genuinely feel. I encourage anyone and everyone to do the exact same thing, but respectfully. This is about respect, man. Respect first, respect second, respect third. And I am open to have my opinion swayed with new information. Now, with that being said, let me tell you a little bit about myself, just a little bit, because I don't know y'all like that. I reside in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a military veteran, and I do music. But I'm black first, and man second, and any other category falls after that. Pardon me, the seasons just changed. I think I'm a little under the weather, maybe getting a little cold, but it's neither here nor there. Hey, speaking of neither here nor there, man, I've been having this ongoing debate with this young lady about the word semantics. She's insisting that it means neither here nor there. And I'm trying to inform the young lady that it does not. It means can go either way. It means the playing on words. It means trying to say something a different way than what it is currently being said in a manner in which to change to obscure the definition by using another word. Now, of course, I've gone to the dictionary, and the dictionary has been unclear as to the usage of the word. So if y'all can help me out by informing me so I can inform her of how devastatingly incorrect she is with this debate, and that she should really not continue down the path of challenging me in this particular area. Now, there's some areas where I can't be challenged, and I will be wrong. This ain't it, though. So pardon me, man, I just went on the tizzy. I do that from time to time. But I want to discuss this presidential election coming up and the mindset that we have as black people to vote monolithically without actually gaining anything in return. I've been doing a lot of research because I've committed myself to participating in this election. Not because I feel that anything at all will change, but because I believe in black unity, right? And so for the first time in a long time, it seems that we are on code, right? And so being on code means that we're on the same page, we have the same agenda. Now, I don't have to agree with the agenda to be a part of it, right? If this is what black people say that we want to do and we're going to do it, goddamn, I'm with it. No. But in doing that, though, I don't blindly go into situations and circumstances. I need to know what's going on. I need to do a little research. I need to figure out who's who and what's what. I personally believe that the United States of America has already shown its true colors. I believe fully that it don't give a damn about us, never have and never will be, because the foundation of what it's coming from is slavery. And so if you're coming from a foundation of slavery, then anything you build the house upon after that is going to be based upon that foundation. And so the people that were slaves then are people that are slaves now. And until you either A, shut down the country, rebuild it, or B, get the hell on and start your own, this is what it's going to be. I've also spoken at length to my partners of mine, letting them know that no revolution has been successful to the point where you've changed the status quo. Like, you've never seen the people that were rich become the poor people, and the poor people that were poor become rich in societies. What tends to happen is societies fall. So the people that are poor revolt, have a revolution, and then the structure of the society fails. But it doesn't reverse, right? Freedom and equality doesn't really come. It just shuts down the oppressive system that it comes from. All right, but with all that being said, let's say you want to vote. So we're going to get out here and vote. We're going to figure some things out. Cool, no problem. So I got a couple things that come to my mind, and that is voting against the boogeyman, right? So anybody who's been paying attention will know that the way America works is they have to have you afraid of something, right? They prey on your fear. Whatever they can make you afraid of, most of the time is something that they've already orchestrated you to be afraid of. So you really should be afraid of them, but they're projecting themselves as to be something else, right? So cool. So they're projecting them to be something else and then have you afraid of that. Now, while you are afraid of that, then they come and say, hey, we can fix it. We can help you with that. All you got to do is such and such and such and such, right? You got to do this. You got to give up liberties. You got to vote. You got to, whatever it is they want you to do. Meanwhile, they've caused the problem. They've gotten you to believe that it's a problem. And then they've gotten you to believe that they're the solution to the problem when the whole scenario was them, right? So this has happened time and time again. And it seems to be an effective strategy because human nature and humans in general want to, how can I say this? They tend to not want to be afraid, right? So if I can make you afraid and then I can offer you a solution to that fear, then I'm the hero. Cool. Now, voting. I don't know that voting has ever changed, man. I did a little change anything. I did a little research project, right? I went back the last 20 years of presidential campaigns, all right? And if you ever just go back 20 years of presidential campaigns and you see the campaign speeches, right? You see what they're talking about, what they're going to do, and how they're going to help. It has been the exact same speech, no matter who's running. We're going to fix the economy. We're going to help the poor out of poverty. We're going to provide jobs and we're going to provide safety, right? But somehow, some way, every year or every 4 years, the next candidate is saying the exact same thing. I mean, you can literally read the speeches and just insert politician here, right? Nothing has ever changed. So the poor are going to be with you always. That's what the books say. And so it's interesting that voting hasn't solved anything for black people, yet every year, black people are being told every 2 years to go out and vote. This is what's interesting. Black people have never not voted. Black people marched in the street and got sick dogs upon and got shot and killed because they wanted to vote. Like, there's never been a time where black people just sat at the crib and didn't vote, right? And when that did happen, it was because history had given us enough time to be able to say that there are dynasties in office, right? So now that we have dynasties in office, the Bushes, the Clintons, etc., well, most of us were around and had ears open when Clinton was talking what stuff he was talking when he was trying to run for office. And then we saw what he did, right? We saw the effects of what he did. Enough time has passed to see Clinton really fucked some shit up for black people, right? Now, when his wife wants to run, the memory is still there of what your husband did, what he said he was going to do, what he actually did that we didn't know about, and the long-term effects of that, right? So when that becomes the case, black people hopefully are just not idiots. They're not going to say, oh, well, we remember this. We know this happened. We know we fucked you up. We know that you fucked us up. We know that we don't have no men in the household because of bills that your husband and them signed. But oh yeah, let's go vote for you this time and see how it's different, right? So when you see black people sitting at home, it's because our memory isn't bad. Like, we remember, right? So then you turn around and say, well, they didn't vote because she was a woman. No. They didn't vote because their memory ain't bad, right? And it doesn't really happen often. Most presidents are one-offs. You don't necessarily see their children or their uncle or anybody else in the family run. So you don't have anything to compare them to. So what you always end up getting is another motherfucker selling hopes and dreams that you have to go off of hopes and dreams because you have no record to go off of, right? Even when you get a president that's running for re-election for the second term, what you often hear is, well, what I did in the first term really wasn't about me because it takes 3 to 4 years for me to overcome what the previous president did. So if you really want to know what I'm going to do, you got to give me these second 4 years. Well, by the time you get the second 4 years, they out this thing, right? And then you got to wait 4 to 8 years to see the effects of what they actually done. So you don't have anything to compare that to, right? But on average, black people vote in droves and they vote Democrat, right? This leads me to the point of the day. Voting for something is not the same thing as voting against something, right? So previously I mentioned that they always give you something to fear. Well, right now the boogeyman is Donald Trump, okay? The boogeyman is Donald Trump. He's a racist. We got to get him out the office and move his skill. I believe almost every last thing of that. I know he's a racist. I believe he's incompetent. I believe he gives no fucks. I don't believe he's the boogeyman, though. I don't believe that Donald Trump is doing anything that any other president, even Barack Hussein, Barry Soto, Obama did. It's just that the way that he's going about it is blatantly in your face, right? The effects, though, seem to be immediate, which is why I understand the call to get him out of office. But I also understand that everybody's pandering to black people to save the country yet again, but nobody's explicitly saying what they're going to do for black people, right? So as long as there's a fear, something that we gotta hurry up, we can't think, we gotta hurry up and get rid of this, there's never an opportunity or a time where we say, hey, but hold up though, we're not getting rid of this just for us. We're getting rid of this for the country. We're getting rid of this for you. You are going to be president. You are going to be vice president. What do we get in return for that? Not just the absence of Donald Trump. What do we get in return for that? Right? And of course, it's dead silence. It's dead silence. I find it very, very interesting and telling about who and where these politicians go to speak, right? They typically go to the black churches where, again, that is all centered around faith and hope, right? Because that's actually what's required to get these cats in there. Faith and hope. That's what they're actually selling. Because then faith and hope, right? That's what they go to. And recently they've been going to Cardi B and Lizzo. Right? Because there is not one informed question that's going to come from Cardi B and Lizzo. They're never going to ask these people, well, what do you do for us? What do we get out of it? Right? They're going to say, we need to vote. Listen, when everybody tends to say the same thing, I tend to raise my eyebrow a little bit. All right? I tend to look a little deeper than the surface. And I hope you do too. Listen, man, I encourage anybody and everybody that's going to do anything to know why they are doing it, to have a plan about doing it, to gain from the action. Don't do it because somebody says to do it. Don't do it because you are in fear of what may happen if you do not do it, right? There's always a gain. There's always a get. And if somebody is requiring, demanding, shouting, wanting you to do something, it is because it is in their best interest, right? Because nobody's putting forth any interest at all that is not about them first and maybe the people second, right? Everything is a selfish ordeal. So if you're coming to the game with a humanitarian perspective, but they're coming to it with the selfish perspective always will win and dominate. Be selfish. Be selfish about yourself. Be selfish about black people, right? They want something. Everything costs. Everything costs. But if we don't charge the price of it, then they get it for free. Nothing in the world is more expensive than free.
Mero.
I'll holler at y'all, man.
So I was just minding my business, right?